Test, test, test. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Let me know how we sounding. Let me know how we sounding. Test, test. See what we got going on here. What's going on? Wilmer, what's going on? What's going on? I see you up in here. What's going on, Mario? What's going on? I sound good. All right, perfect. All right, we got a couple setups we're looking at right now. Yeah, yesterday ended up being like a retracement day. We had a few reversals take place yesterday, so we didn't take any setups. We're gonna wait a couple minutes. We're gonna start breaking some stuff down. Now we do got a few news events today, y'all. All right. So we got 8:30 USD news, 10 a.m. USD news, and then later on tonight we have at 9 p.m. New Zealand news. All right, y'all. Yeah, we're going to look at a possible NAS buy setup. Again, like we talked about in the Sunday chart analysis, as well as during London session lives, we need NAS in order for the uptrend to continue to not only break, but hold 21,750 as support. We can clearly see each time we broke this level, we failed off the retest to hold as support. That's what we're looking for in order for the uptrend to continue. Right, we're going to the bigger time frame. We can see exactly that. How literally every time we broke in this level, we failed to hold it as support. Right, so we can hold this level as support. We see not only the previous higher highs get hit, but possibly new all-time highs get made. Right, so that's what we're going to be looking for right here. Then we're also going to be looking at GU and GN for possible buys as well. GN just broke this level. We was looking for sales, but as we can see, like we was talking about, we was looking to see if we could hold this level as resistance, just like the NAS100, but the exact opposite is rejected and failed to hold this level as resistance each time it's broke that level. Yesterday it got, that's the farthest I went yesterday, but again, we was live. It was wait, talk about what? It was to look for the retest to see if it could hold as resistance. It failed to hold as resistance, as we can clearly see here, which is why we didn't pull the trigger. Right. So again, we had a perfect example of a good lesson yesterday about not chasing setups and then waiting for the retracement. So again, when we went live yesterday, 3 a.m., GN already did this big dump. So imagine if we would have had let FOMO take over and we would have took this sell, jumped in because we was like, oh, we're missing pips. I don't want to miss any more. Not only would we have gotten a terrible entry, but we would have got plus hit. They took an unnecessary loss for no reason because all we had to do was simply wait for the retracement to see if that one price was ready to hold as low as resistance, and two, that the sell wasn't the move to go for, right? So we didn't take any trades yesterday, but we still didn't take a loss. So that's still a win in my book because the trade we did take this week on Monday was still a huge win. So I can't complain. And then GJ ended up rejecting reversing as well. So we'll talk about GJ a little bit also. So yeah, we had a lot of rejections and reversals. Again, we look here. We look at last week. Last week we was catching sells on GJ as well. And again, we're seeing a recurring theme here, right? Price failed to hold these levels as resistance last week, and then failed to hold it Monday, and then yesterday when it retraced, it failed to hold it as resistance again. So a reversal came into play. And then gold, they're like gold should do its thing. It's kind of just consolidated. We got a new 15 about to pop up in a second. Y'all, make sure to go ahead and like the stream if you haven't already and subscribe. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers. We can get to that easily. You guys got any questions? Drop in the chat. We'll look at each charts. Drop in the chat. You already know the drill. We're just chilling, patiently waiting right now. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Those who just joined the stream, we have not entered this trade yet. This is just a trade idea. Make sure to go ahead and hit that first link in the description and join our free signal through Telegram. I'll see you on your screens how we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead and hit that first link and check it out for yourselves. All right, so again, we didn't take a trade yesterday, but we took a trade Monday, so we're 1-0 so far this week. We got a few news events today popping off, right? So again, 8:30 we got USD news. 10 a.m. we got USD news, and then later on tonight when markets reopen during Tokyo session, we got New Zealand news. We're going to see these news events are going to help us again either start these new trends or continue. That's what we're really looking for, right? So again, with GN for the past couple of weeks, it's struggled to break this level as resistance, just like last time it was going for buys. After retested this level, failed to hold that support. So if it holds this level as support again, we can see possible buys come back into play. So that's what we're looking at right here. They're also paying attention to NAS and then GU. How do you know it was a poor level? How do you know it was an important level for GU? What are you talking about? You're talking about you just talking about in general? What did what exactly what part are you talking about? Just let me know if you're talking about in general or you're talking about specific price point we're looking at. Let me know what you're talking about so I can make sure to answer your question properly, right? So when you say, how do I know it was a poor level for GU, are you talking about this level right here specifically, or are you talking about just in general, how do I know these are important levels? Let me know what you mean exactly. And remember, Mario, we talked about on Instagram the other day. When it comes to trading, we don't hold. We try to keep most of our emotions out of it. Of course, people have emotions. So I'm not going to be like, have zero emotions, but you want to keep emotions out of it. Words are very important, right? When it comes to the markets, we're not going to hope, because that entails, we're maybe hope, we cross our fingers. That's a no, right? So again, everything we do is calculated and makes sense. Now I get what you mean, but again, when you hope, you will also get disappointed if it doesn't, or if there isn't a setup, right? So again, you just got to understand what's happening, accept what's happening, and know what your next move and your game plan is going to be, right? Right? I give this analogy all the time. And again, if you're not following me on Instagram and TikTok, I just posted a video actually talking about this. So make sure to watch my video on Instagram and TikTok. I literally just posted yesterday, and it goes over what I was just going to talk about. Right, so I'm actually not going to talk about that. I want y'all to go watch that video I just posted. Right, so that's what so I'm not even going to break it down because I broke it down in that video. Look at how that works out. But again, remember, y'all, is you don't want to be hoping on the markets, right? Everything you do, you want to have make sense, right? Because you're hoping, next thing you know, you're hoping, you're winking, right? Instead of you're going from, okay, this setup makes sense. I understand why I would go for this, to, oh well, let's just see what happens, or hopefully this goes our way, right? You want to have a purpose. I know some people might think I'm dragging it, but no, words are, whether you know or not, the things you say are important, right? They're going to affect how you look at things in your mind. And it's just like how it was a couple weeks ago, right? A couple weeks ago, the markets were slow and things picked back up, right? But again, we understood why the markets were slow, right? So it's just like fishing. So I'm not going to give the analogy I gave in the video I posted on Instagram and TikTok. I'll give another analogy, right? It's like fishing, right? I can go fishing every Saturday. And let's say last Saturday, I caught 3 fish, right? So that doesn't mean if I go fishing this Saturday, I'm gonna catch 3 fish, right? So let's say last Saturday I caught 3 fish, and then this weekend comes, and then I only catch 2 fish, right? Does that mean I don't know how to fish anymore? Does that mean like I didn't cast the line out properly? Does that mean I did anything wrong? No, that's just how shit works, right? Just like I can go fishing every Saturday, and let's say last weekend when I went fishing, I got my first bite and caught my first fish in 20 minutes, right? That doesn't mean every Saturday, 20 minutes on the dot, I'm gonna get a bite, right? So let's say this weekend I go fishing, and it's exactly 20 minutes since I put my line in the water. I keep on checking my phone, checking the line, and I don't got a bite. Does that mean I don't know how to trade? I'm a fish anymore? Does that mean I did something wrong? No, that's just how shit works, right? And that's the same thing with trading, right? It's one of those things. That's why you got to be there and be ready to take advantage of those setups, but also be there and know when to not jump into certain setups and things like that. But things are starting to wake up now. Now, again, we did have a couple reverses take place, but compared to how it was like a few weeks ago, things are kind of a lot better. You get what I'm saying? I like how this is looking here. I'm gonna write this trade idea up. Ask for a little bit of work to do. Got a new video dropping for y'all later on today as well, y'all. Make sure to be on the lookout for that. You know what's like, y'all running some stuff up. That's why I'm quiet right now. Alright, cool. Yeah, so we're going to see if we can hold this low as support, right? So the GN can hold 2050, 2045 as support. We can look for buys going to 2110. That's what we're looking for right now. Everything else is kind of retesting. Let's see if we can hold this level here. New 5 minutes about to pop up in a second. What we got to go on here? Okay. So that wasn't GU, that was GN. I get what you're saying. But I think it might have been GU also. No, it was GN. So it was GN, but I get what you're saying. So you were saying yesterday you said you were looking for a sales at a particular level and you avoided a loss because you did not chase price. What about that level was key for you to say that's where you wanted to take it? So again, prior to what took place yesterday, right? When we look here, prior to what took place yesterday, looking at GN, what would be the move you would go for, buys or sells, right? You're looking at GN right here. What would be the move you would be looking for when you see this right here? Right, we had a higher high get made here. Price rejected this resistance level, failed to hold this level as support. Then we'll go to smaller time frames. The support level got rejected, turned to resistance. And then we see here, this was the next key price level, right? So I'm gonna make sure I answer your question correctly. What about that key if we were to take it? So since we had the bullish momentum come out the way, we had this reversal, and then the support level is getting treated as resistance. We're going to be looking for sales, right? Because again, we don't have bullish momentum anymore. We don't see any higher highs anymore, so we're going to be looking for sales. So because I understand that we're looking for sales, then that is where I want to look at these key price levels. So you don't understand what support resistance is. I got a few videos going over support resistance. So before we even break all this stuff down, let's pause really quick to make sure GM is not trying to take off. All right, cool. All right, so let me find a video real quick. Right, and support resistance, supply demand is all the same stuff, right? Tomato, right? It's like liquidity, levels of traffic, consolidations, all the same stuff. It's just different names people came up with. It's all the same stuff, right? So you got to understand how support resistance works. Now, if you're a member or student, you should know, especially when you get in the course channel. Let me try to find the support resistance video to post in the chat. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'll be posting so much, it'd be hard to find stuff sometimes. I guess this is a completely terrible problem. You guys got questions, drop in the chat. We're looking at your charts, drop in the chat, y'all. I got y'all. Just trying to find a video really quick. All right, so here's the video right here. Right, so and if you haven't, and this isn't just for you, Wilder, this is for everybody. Go to my trade breakdown playlist, right? If you're trying to figure out some of the setups I'm looking for, or the setups I took in the past, right? You get the free student, free Telegram, and you look at some of these other setups we took in the past, like these 1-to-3 or short ratio setups, or even the bigger setups we took, like some of the 1-to-5 and the 1-to-8s we took in the past. You ever curious how to catch setups like these, or how we catch setups, or from the Sunday chart analysis to the London session lives, how I'm able to predict the direction or the exact price points to look out for to see price hit. It all goes down to understanding how to read the charts and support resistance. Right, everything goes back to understanding how to read the charts and support resistance. Right, so you have to know how to read the charts for one. But that video right here is one of my recent trade breakdown videos. Right, all my trade breakdown videos, I break down literally from start to finish why I took that setup, why I was looking for that setup, and the process of me looking for the confirmations and entering the trade, right? But going back to why I was talking about sales there is because, again, like we just saw prior to what happened yesterday, if I was going to take a position on G and a sell was the wise option. Now, just because it sells wise option to go for it, that doesn't mean we're just going to automatically go for it, right? Because we saw this was yesterday's candlestick, so prior to yesterday, right? So again, really quick, get rid of this. Prior to yesterday, we had 3 days in a row of price failing to break this level. And again, why? Why can we see this is a key price level? Again, that's something I teach the members and students all the time. You look to the left, it's going to explain what's happening in the present and what could potentially happen in the future. All right, I'm going to say that again. You look to the left, it's going to explain what's happening in the present and what could potentially happen in the future. Right. So we talked about this in yesterday's live stream during London session, how price doesn't come up with new tricks. It does the same tricks over and over again, right? It's got like 5, 6 tricks, whatever, that it does over and over again, right? They just switch up the speed or the pattern of those tricks or the order of those tricks, right? But it also follows the same rules to a T. So that being said, a support level could also be a resistance level, and a strong resistance level could also be a strong support level. So again, going back to looking to the left, we can clearly see that this was a strong support level. How do we know this is a strong support level? Well, one, if you understand support resistance works, supply demand works, you can see. But also we can see here because when price retraced and retested this level, it held that support and gave us that higher high that, of course, me and the members caught. You see that right here, right? So, before we break this down, let me make sure it's not taking off on us because y'all know when I be going in teacher mode, that's when price want to try to sneak away sometimes. So give me 1 second. Now it's retesting right now. And those just joining in, you see the question on the screen. That's what we're answering right now. Anyone else got any questions, or when we look at any charts, drop in the chat. Make sure I like the live real because we're right, so it's a real game of sauce right now. All right. So boom, price trees low as support. We come back to here. Again, we're in the present. Price is still treated as low as support. How do we know it's treated as low as support? Because we can see it's literally rejecting it and not breaking below it, right? So again, if I'm going to go for a sell, I'm not going to go for a sell off of a support level. I'm going to go for a sell off of a resistance level, right? You want to go for sells off resistance levels, and you want to go for buys off support levels. I'm going to go for buys off support levels, sells off resistance levels. All right. Support, sells off resistance. All right. So that being said, I'm not going to pull the trigger on this trade until it can hold that level as resistance, right? So if y'all go back to the Sunday chart analysis, first link in the description, we talked about GN in here. And also y'all from the London session live on Monday, we talked about looking for the GN setup there as well as last week if it could hold that level as resistance. And again, we go back to the left, it's explaining what's happening in the present and what could potentially happen in the future. So we see last week, each time price broke this level, it failed to, off the retest, hold as resistance. Then we see Monday, it failed to even break below the level. So then Monday night, Tokyo session, price finally not only broke that level, but retested held as resistance, as we can see right here. Now, let's pay attention to the times that this took place, right? 1:45. We did not go live yesterday until 3 a.m., right? So we didn't go live yesterday until 3 a.m. And this move that we was looking for yesterday didn't happen until 1:30, 1:45. We missed this entry and we missed this drop to the downside, right? So again, the move we was looking for ended up happening. We just missed it. And again, we're not going to chase trades over here. So since we already missed the initial move from the ideal entry point, we're going to wait for one of two things to happen. This is what we talked about yesterday's live stream. Y'all can watch yesterday's live stream and say this. We're going to wait for the price to either retrace and retest the whole level as resistance or break this next level. That's exactly what I said yesterday's live stream. So when price retraced, we could clearly see that if it hold as resistance, it started to treat it as support again. And again, like we just talked about, we don't enter sells off support levels. We enter sells off of resistance levels. So because we missed an ideal entry and we didn't chase the trade, we saved ourselves some money because again, we didn't go live until what? 3 a.m. yesterday. So if I would have opened my chart, I would have saw this, and it was the old me from 3 years ago, I would have freaked out. FOMO would have kicked in. I would have took the sell at 3 a.m. just for 30 minutes later, price to retrace back to my ideal entry point, where if I would have entered here, I would have been an unnecessary drawdown just for price to come back to the ideal price point. But then also, if I would have pulled the trigger here without waiting for price to show that I was going to hold this level as resistance, I would have took an unnecessary loss, right? So hopefully that answers all your questions. All right, y'all. Let me know if that makes sense to you. Let me catch up to what else we got going on here. But right now is retesting this level. All right, so we're going to let this retest. We're going to see if it can hold as support. NAS looks like it's about to try to wreck this level again as well. Let's see if NAS can do that for us. I think it's back over last week. Check this. So it's going to do this for. And all that we just broke down, that's just a taste of what we'll be breaking down behind the scenes with the members of the course of the one-on-one sessions. But again, all that is simply just understanding the rules of the markets and how to read the charts, which is why it's so important. Because there was two possible times that the average trader or a new trader would have made a mistake and took a loss, right? You know, I always talk about don't never be in a race to take a position and always stick to the game plan, right? I always want to stick to the game plan. I say this every day, but let me set an alarm because I gotta dust this desk off or something. Cause I don't know what it is. I be chilling. But as soon as I get to this desk, I be sneezing. And my desk ain't a mess. It ain't in as clean as but kind of clean as grab my duster or something. What's going on over here? Somebody's talking about me. Something's going on. Let me see real quick. What we got up here? A New Zealand cat is a strong buy question mark because the price has to okay. All right, so I'm gonna try to assume there's a few typos there, but let's go ahead and pull up that chart. I think I'm pretty sure what you're asking. So I've been trading New Zealand CAD in a few years. So I wonder if my levels are even close to where price is at right now. It'd be funny if they were. Let's take a look. That's why all my alerts, shout out to you, Mario, because I needed to go on this chart anyways, because I got like 5 alerts being wasted on this chart. So I don't trade New Zealand CAD anymore. So I can be using these alerts for my main charts. Shout out to you, because I have 4 alerts here for no reason. Let's get rid of that. Cool. Yeah. So even without marking off my levels, let me ask you, look at price right now. Are we in A, an uptrend, or B, a downtrend? What do we see going on right here? Are we in A, an uptrend, or B, a downtrend? What do we see going on right here? Let me know, chat. Let me know. And it's not just for you. Anyone else can answer as well. Looking at New Zealand CAD right here. Before I even mark off my levels, looking at New Zealand CAD right here. Are we in an uptrend, bullish or bearish momentum? Let me know what y'all see, chat. Let me know what y'all see. All right. Looking at this, are we an uptrend or downtrend? Do we downtrend? All right, so look at your wording again. Look at your wording. So you said we're in a downtrend. And then you said, but a buy because we will go for a little retrace and then sell. All right, Mario. So what I teach and what you're going to learn over here is to not be greedy. What you're doing is being greedy right now, whether you know it or not. And what I mean by that is, we're in a downtrend, but we're going back to your wording earlier, right? You was like, hope today we can find someone because you're so motivated to find something, which is not a bad thing. You're going to try to cut corners. And by cut corners, I mean counter trend trade. You don't want to counter trend trade. Sometimes you'll get lucky, sometimes it'll go in your favor, but you don't want to build a habit of counter trend trade. Because if you'll counter trend trade, essentially you'll go for anything, right? You'll go for any setup, whether that's a quality setup or not. Right? Because you just said we're in a downtrend. So if we're in a downtrend, what does that mean? That means we were trending downwards. That means we have momentum going downwards. So yes, there's a potential that price can go up. But if we're thinking about probabilities, if we're in a downtrend, what is the probability of, if we go for a buy or sell, us making more money on a buy versus a sell? If we're in a downtrend, besides this one right here, because it's kind of stuck at this level of traffic, when we look at most downtrends, right, a traditional downtrend, basic downtrend, are the moves up bigger than the moves down? Or are the moves down bigger than the moves up, right? When we look at a traditional downtrend, all right, there's a lot of trade New Zealand CAD because we can see these charts are freaking disgusting, right? I can't really trade when there's a bunch of wicks everywhere, right? So just looking at it, that's why I just dragged this down because it's looking disgusting. But that's besides the point, right? So let me draw actual cleaner looking. So right, so boom, here's an uptrend, right? Here's a downtrend. So if we're in a downtrend, are the moves up bigger than the moves down, or are the moves down bigger than the moves up? Right? The moves down are bigger than the moves up, right? So if we're in a downtrend, which means price is already trending downwards, and then in most downtrends, the move down, aka the lower low, is bigger than the move up, aka the lower high. And we're thinking logically, and let's say a guns to our head, what would be the move you go for? Are you going to go for a buy or a sell in the downtrend? If this is your last $100, gun to your head. You only got one right answer. You only got one chance. What are you going for? A sell or a buy in a downtrend? I don't know about y'all. I'm going for a sell. But way I can see it going up right now. Cool. But let me ask you something. Let's close our eyes, right? Let's close our eyes and let's go down memory lane. We're looking at the charts. We see a setup. We know we're in a downtrend. We go for a buy. We take that setup. We're up a little bit. We're up a little bit. We see a little bit of green. Life's great. Candle closes. New candlestick opens. Then boom, out of nowhere, price pushes and takes to the downside. You're like, damn, I knew it was in a downtrend. But I should have did, you know what I'm saying? So again, you want to, the goal when it comes to trading is not to catch every flip in the market, right? Because if you have that attitude, you're going to literally be on the charts taking everything, anything, everything. Like you got no standards. You're just going to be going for anything and everything, which is going to make you start over trading, which is going to give you inconsistent risk-reward ratio setups, which is going to give you inconsistent amount of trades you take on a daily, weekly basis. A lot of stuff is going to become inconsistent, right? You want to ideally take around the same amount of setups on a weekly, daily basis. You want to ideally, everything wants to be consistent, right? Everything wants to be consistent, right? It's just like with the GJ stuff. So the short version of your answer, I wouldn't even look for buys right now. Like, yes, it could possibly go up, but we're in a downtrend, right? So again, everything's about habits. If you break that rule today, what's going to stop you from breaking that rule tomorrow, right? If you break that rule tomorrow, what's going to stop breaking you, right? So again, if the rules are rules for a reason, right? You don't want to just break the rules all the time, right? Perfect example was again, we looked at G. And GJ said that we took on Monday, right? Started off the week, markets reopened on Sunday, price was shooting up. Did we go for a buy because price was shooting up all Sunday night? No, we stuck to the game plan and the flow of price, which was in a downtrend, and we rode that wave down, right? So Sunday night price shot up. So let's say I was an average trader or a new trader. I saw Sunday price was shooting up all day. So when it comes London session, I'm gonna go for a buy at this next price level. People would have got fucked up, right? Because literally after Tokyo session, all London and New York session price pushed to the downside. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to counter trend trade. Yes, sometimes it can go in your favor, but we're not trying to go for sometimes. We're trying to go for something that's all the time thing. You get what I'm saying? And I'd much rather wait and miss out on a smaller move and a high risk trade to find or wait for the higher quality setup move that's going to give me a bigger pip count, a bigger ratio setup, and a bigger catch and return on my investment. Right? That's just how I see it. You want to enter off retracements, but you don't want to trade off retracements, right? You want to enter off retracements, but you don't want to necessarily trade off of retracements. Naz has been teasing us. It's going to be interesting to see what happens today. Again, we do got a few news events popping off today. We got 8:30 USD news, 10 a.m. USD news, and then 9 p.m. New Zealand news. All right, y'all. Make sure this is chat. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I appreciate the breakdown. Thank you. Do you go live with your members exclusive from New York? I don't go live every day during New York session, but we go live at least twice a week during New York session, and not just during New York session, but during the New York high impact news events, right? Because again, I always talk about how news are scary, and again, I don't just say stuff over here. So I go live with the members during high impact news events to show them that news isn't scary. Just like during these London session lives and the Sunday chart analysis, I go live before the news pops off. I get my projections before the news pops off. And then as the news is going and taking off, I explain what's happening. I reiterate the rules and how to go about news days, news candlesticks. I break down trades we took that week. I answer questions. The members of the students could talk off their mic or type in the chat, interact. So that's how I go about on the New York lives. But yeah, we don't go live every day during New York session. We go live at least twice a week. And if you miss those lives, just like the London session lives, they're all recorded. So when you join, you'll get access to all the past recordings, as well as you'll get access to all the past recordings, see all the past trades, all the past New York price watch lists, and then I want to make sure I don't dox. Right, so this is a new channel. So when you join, you'll be sent to the old channel, right? So on this new channel, there's over 100 videos. So you have access to all the past New York price watches, as well as the New York lives, which will be the larger ones with live in New York news. But we also send out a New York price watch list every day at the beginning of New York session, going over the trades we took during London session, as well as possible other setups we can see and take during New York. So it's basically like an updated and daily geared and centered Sunday chart analysis. Then there's a student member group chat, there's a bunch of stuff, right? But you also got access to the old advanced space signal room, where you can see all the other past lives and stuff as well. So it's over almost 1,000 videos past New York price watch, as well as past New York news event lives and all that good stuff. I like how Gene's looking. He's doing a retest right now. Trying to solidify for us and determine if it can hold as low as support. Whoops. Yeah, everything else I don't like, so we're just gonna keep it on here right now. Those just joining the stream. Those just joining the stream. We have not taken this trade yet. This is just a trade idea. Make sure to hit that first link in the description and join the free signal and free Telegram. Y'all see on our screens how we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead, hit that first link. Check it out for yourselves. You guys got any questions? Drop them in the chat. When you're looking at your charts, drop them in the chat. But you already know the drill. We're just chilling, patiently waiting right now. Make sure to check out the playlist of past videos, because again, we don't just live stream over here. We post weekly day trading or trade breakdown. We post weekly stock, crypto analysis, all that good stuff. This is an all-around investment channel. All right, we're changing the game over here. It's called the playbook for a reason. All right, so we only took one trade so far this week. We didn't take a trade yesterday because I didn't like anything I saw, but we took a nice trade to start out the week on Monday called this beautiful GJ setup. All TVs got hit, caught 127 pips. As you can see here, I scaled into the position, but if we just count just the first position, 0.8 of 0.B, 127 pips. Nice setup right there. Pull that up right here. Nice 1-to-2 restore ratio setup, meaning whatever risk we made 2 times that amount. Made over 2 times that amount, but just keep it simple. So if I risked $100, I made 200, around $260. So I would have risked $1,000, I would have made 2,000, around $2,600, right? So that's how that works. Let's put this back on GN so we don't miss anything. As far as last week, we were 3-0 last week. It was 100% win rate, which is not bad at all. And then to wrap up January, we went 17-3, giving us an 85% win rate. So we absolutely been killing it so far this year. And then, of course, you've been following since last year. You know how we did last year. Went absolutely crazy last year and last quarter, right? So, yeah, right now we're just waiting to see if we can hold this level here. New 5-minute just popped up. Let me catch up to the chat to make sure I'm not missing anything. Let me see what we got to put here. You're right, man. I was trying to find it. Trust me, I used to do the same shit. That's why I already knew. I used to do the same shit. Trust me. Everything I tell y'all not to do, I don't do. And the reason why I don't do it because I used to do it. And I know what happens when you do it. That's why I don't do it anymore. Right? Just like everything I tell y'all to do, I personally do because I used to not do it and I implemented it for a reason, right? So yeah, I'm never going to stray y'all away. This is one of those channels where I give trash information on purpose to keep y'all struggling or depending on me, right? I actually want to see everybody want to succeed over here. So trust me, everything I say is for a reason, right? Because I want y'all to succeed. And again, it's all about quality over quantity, right? It's quality over quantity, right? Because you know what I'm saying. You can. That's why I like the Telegram, right? Because you can go all the way into the past. And you can see I used to take a bunch of trades. Like this isn't made up. I took all these trades all in one day. Like this is back in 2022. As you can see, I don't do that anymore. But I used to do just all types of crazy stuff back in the day, right? You know, maybe the students were still eating. Nothing changed. Like I said, nothing changed just the day and the year and the weather, right? But yeah, I used to just do a bunch of crazy stuff. And you know, as you trade, you're gonna improve. Which will always revamp the course every year. By the way, the course is getting revamped this quarter. I've been working on it, but I'm gonna start recording the videos this month, right? So it should be done at the end of the quarter. So it should be done either middle or the end of March, right? But I'm gonna keep you updated on that. And for those that's already in the course channel, all thing that's gonna change is I'm just updating it because it's been a year, right? So I'm just updating it. I update it every year. I updated it last year. So I updated this year. But everything else is tracing right now. Especially what as close as that. Again, y'all got a new video dropping for y'all today. It's going to be dropping around the beginning of New York session. Make sure to be on the lookout for that. Make sure to catch up to the past videos, catch up to all the playlists as well. Shout out to everybody in the live. Shout out to everybody that's been alive since the beginning. Shout out to everybody that's been alive since y'all joined. Make sure to hit that first link in the description, y'all, and join a free signal, free Telegram. Again, y'all see all your screens I did last month and last quarter. Make sure to explore all that stuff as well. If y'all want to contact me directly, y'all can DM me on Instagram or Telegram. I respond to all messages. About to respond to someone right now after we hop off of this. Now we was going to go live. I'm gonna let y'all know because some stuff came up, so I can't go live at 8:30. So I'm gonna let you know if we're gonna go live at 10 today, but if not, we're gonna be going live tomorrow and Friday for sure. All right. So I'm gonna let y'all know, members, that we're gonna be able to go live today. All right, y'all. Again, we're gonna be paying attention to NAS and GN as of now. We're gonna be watching the other charts, but we got alerts, and as you can see, they got some work to do. So we're just gonna let them do their things until volume kicks in. Make sure to pay attention to the news events we got today. Again, y'all, we got 8:30, 10 a.m., and then 9 p.m. New Zealand news. All right, 8:30, 10 a.m. is USD, 9 p.m. is New Zealand news. It sure really responds. Hey, let them know, Mario. Let them know. All right, and we're gonna be back at the same time tomorrow, London session 3 a.m. EST.